Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey everyone, my computer was a little stalling there. How are you doing? Okay, so my name's Heather Hope. Welcome back to the Inspired Entrepreneur podcast. And today is, let me make sure, it is 10 no, I'm sorry, 10/20/20. 10/20/20, October 20th, 2020. Is that enough 20s for you? That's perfect, right? 3 20s? Perfect. Perfect alignment. So, if you are just listening to me for the first time, hi, my name is Heather. I'm a law of attraction business coach, mentor to business owners, entrepreneurs, self employed people who are all into the law of attraction, who are trying to figure this out. Some people just know it. You know what I mean? Like Abraham Hicks tells us that we know this stuff, we just forget. And so when you get back into your knowing, then you're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, this gets to be so much easier than how I've been making it. So what I came across, it was last year I realized that a lot of people who say they love the law of attraction, but and they have businesses and they're trying to grow their business and they do all kinds of things and have all kinds of belief systems that um, is really limiting. Let's just say limiting, because goodness and love and abundance is always flowing to you. It's always flowing to you. So remind yourself. I do this lately. Actually, I've been telling myself, no matter how I'm feeling, abundance and all this good stuff is still flowing to me. But I have my moments of just limiting. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's just limiting, right? So it's not stopping totally. It's not blocking. It's just limiting. It's kind of like there's some rocks in the way that the flow needs to go through, go around the rocks, that sort of thing. It kind of limits it. So what I do is I help my clients really bridge that gap, really understand the belief systems that they're carrying around that's limiting their manifesting abilities to attract their clients, to attract more sales, to attract more inspiring ideas, more $1 million ideas, that sort of thing. And let me just let you know right now, I just posted, I was very inspired over the weekend to drastically reduce my rates. Every so often, I do private coaching. Now, I do private coaching like, um, for other people, let's say celebrities, at a very, a lot higher price tag because of a different client base and a different problem that I solve for them. But for all of the people that follow me on Facebook, for the most part, I have a rate, and I don't advertise it very often because I don't take on private clients too often. And so, but I felt really inspired this weekend to drastically cut my my one-on-one fee, just private session, down to 111. So 111 for a 1 hour call with me. And it's going to be until October 31st. I may extend it or I may raise it a little bit. I just have a different strategy going on right now. I really want to talk to a lot more people for a while. I get that way. Sometimes I'm like, no more private coaching. I'm going to focus on my group. You can always join my group coaching program as well. Um, that's only $47 a month, and it's amazing. But sometimes I just want to not talk to anybody for a while, and then sometimes I just want to talk to everybody. Do you ever feel that way? That's probably the introvert type of trying to maintain some balance in their life of like, I love people. I just don't want to be around them all the time. And then sometimes I've been around just myself for a long time, and I'm like, I just want to be around people. Anyway, so that's going on right now. 111 for a 1 hour call with me. And you can purchase multiples if you'd like. And it's a really amazing time to do that if you wanted to do that. And then you can use them and I can come up with a time frame. So anyhow, let's move into today's topic because it's a really, really, it's a really cool one. Okay, so October 20th, 2020. Let me read the passage. This is coming from my book, The Inspired Entrepreneur: 366 Days of Inspiration for the Entrepreneur, based on the law of attraction and business. With strong desire, okay, so listen to this. With strong desire and soft enough belief, you can create anything that has not been seen before. With strong desire, so you have this strong desire for something to happen, and you have soft enough belief, just like a general belief, not, nothing, too hindering, nothing too, just a soft belief. You can create anything that has not been seen before. Now, there's an Abraham video. It's on my channel. It's on this channel. If you're listening to me on YouTube, you can check it out. I should link it down below or put the little card up at the top. I got to figure out how to do that because it's a really cool one, and it's at the end of the video, towards the very end, like the last minute or two of the video, that Abraham says this. And when I picked it up, I was like, oh my God, it was one of those moments that it was just life-changing in that moment. And it goes into talking about, like, I think I call it the big brains of the universe. Look that video up. I'll try to figure out how to link it somewhere around here. And the big brains, these are the big people. We're talking like Tesla. We're talking Bill Gates. Well, yeah, Bill Gates. If you watch Bill Gates' Big Brain, actually, that's a pretty cool show on Netflix. Anyway, all of these people that created really big, important things like electricity, right? Now, in our modern day, we could look at Elon Musk is an amazing example of what Abraham's talking about. So, creating the electric car and creating a spaceship and successfully launching it and bringing it back, and everybody's alive, everything's good, right? The way that he thinks is he has a strong desire and soft enough belief. Now, what Abraham says in that video is these people tend to have, who's the guy who created Apple? I always forget his name. And then I say Bill Gates, and I'm like, I know that's not right, duh. But they have a team around them. So this is really important. This is why, this is another reason why don't tell everybody around you what you're doing and what you are wanting to do, because you're eventually going to run into people that are going to doubt you and tell you not to do it, and that's stupid and blah, 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 right? So these big brains, these big people that are creating big ideas and bringing them into, like scientists, they talk about scientists and creating and discovering cures and all that stuff, and that they could discover more. It's a great audio. So they have the desire for what they want, like that vision for it, and they have a team of people around them that are all working towards that desire with enough belief of like, yes, we're going to do this. We're going to get there. Does that make sense? It is so important. So it's really important to have people around you that are supportive, that, that you feel comfortable with, that if you do talk to them about what you're creating, doing, that they're going to be like, that's really cool. That's really cool. I wish you so much, instead of like, really? Are you sure about that? That little bit of doubt is too much. So you need to not talk to those people. You got to have people like, that's the reason why, well, one reason that I created my Soul Line Business Academy is to bring these people, bring you guys in, bring the people who enroll, who are into this, into a very supportive community. Like, there's never anybody in there that is ever like, what? No, we are big dreamers, big thinkers, big desires, big inspiration, like all of that. That's who all of us are. I mean, like that, I attract my clients so that's who they are, because that's who I am. So that's another reason. It's a community experience as well as learning and learning from me and all that stuff. But it's being around other like-minded people that are not going to be like, you're crazy. How are you going to do that? You know what I mean? Like, we never say how. It's just like, there's a list of words that I never use. Like, how is one of them. Expensive, I rarely say it, and every time I say it, I'm like, I don't use that word very often, because it's just is what it is, and the universe is abundant and all that stuff. So if you have strong enough desire, your desire and your belief is what creates new things. Like, anything can be created. Abraham talked about in another video of unicorns. Like, we could have unicorns. We can have unicorns running down the street in the future generations. Takes a while. Takes a while for things to be created when it's something that we have been saying is mythical, right? So if enough people desired to have a unicorn with less doubt, we would have unicorns in the future generations. There's another story of Esther. This was funny. This was a funny story. Esther Hicks said to Abraham, gosh, there was a moment that she had a whole bunch of things she was trying to carry from room to room. And she's like, if only I had another hand, another arm to carry things. And then she asked Abraham, she's like, is it possible, if I can have anything I want, since I can have anything I want, right? Can I grow another limb? Can I grow another limb? Like, there's a lot of these questions that I'm sure that we've all asked, like these random, just funny moments that we come up with interesting things, right? Like, well, if I can have anything I want, can I do this? And the answer is always yes. So Abraham told Esther, well, you already have babies being born with a third, an extra limb. You already have that being created. However, your society is saying that that's abnormal, and they're amputating the arm or leg because it's not normal. Until your society says that that's a normal thing, you're not going to have an extra limb because nobody believes that that's a normal thing. Does that make sense? Like, it's only because of our belief systems. Let that sink in, because this is a really big deal. This episode is a big deal, because once you realize, if you didn't realize before and now you're realizing that you literally can have anything you want, it just will take enough. It has to take enough desire and belief, really belief. Less about desire, really. It's like, you don't have to have this massive amount of desire. You can, but you have to have that belief, more importantly. So it's funny. Yes, we can grow, like as a newborn, as a developing fetus, we can grow an extra limb, right? Because it happens. We can grow extra things, extra toes and extra fingers and all of that, right? But then doctors and parents are like, oh, no, you got to take that off. That's abnormal. So, fascinating subject, right? So, one more time, and then I'm going to let you go for today. And if you want to take me up on that coaching offer, I am so excited to get back on the phone with people. It is literally the most fun that I have in my business. When I take on coaching clients or when I do private coaching calls, it is like the epitome. And it's funny that I don't do it very often. It's just one of those things where I go through phases. But when I forget, it's like one of those things I forget that I like so much until I start doing them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just the best time ever. So I just get kind of lazy at times and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do anything. But then I'm like, yes, I do. I want to do a whole bunch and I want to talk to a whole bunch of people and I want to connect and I want to help and I want to listen. And because I did an interview on Sunday. It's on my Facebook page of with one of the members of the Soul Line Business Academy. She interviewed me, and I told her that one of the best things, I see people all the time taking courses, constantly taking courses, thousands of dollars in courses, right? And still not really getting the results that they want. And I told her what they really need, like honestly, the best thing is private coaching because it takes a trained ear to listen to an individual of what they're saying. And I can instantly tell them exactly where the issue is because of what's coming out of their mouth, their language, their beliefs, their all of that, right? I remember one client that I spoke with, and she was talking about how worried she was about losing her job. And it was the first time I ever talked to her. And so everybody's getting laid off and she's so worried about blah 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 blah. She's telling me all this stuff and I told her, I said, if you continue talking about that and getting worried about that, you are absolutely going to lose your job, because she was so fearful. And it stopped her in her tracks so instantly, this massive epiphany, because it's just, there's these habits that we do, right? There's these things that we don't know that we're doing. I know that I still do things because I'm human, and I'm actually not currently working with a coach. I've gone through a lot of coaches just because it's hard to find a coach that is totally Abraham or totally infinite intelligence. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not easy. Who don't bring in all their belief systems from their own stuff. Like anytime I start hearing my coach's own stuff of how things are, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go because I don't want to have my mind filled with your belief system. You know what I mean? Let me know that you know what I mean. So it's not the easiest thing for me to find a coach, and I'm not always looking for one. It's just if I connect with one. Actually, I'm working with some, I think, well, anyway, that's another story. But so I know that there's things that I catch myself. I'm a really good coach for myself. I know that because I've recovered from my own suicidal depression, and, I have gotten myself to where I am now basically on my own, with, of course, Source. So, it's just one of those things. Private coaching is so good, and my price is ridiculous. I've paid tons more. I've paid $5,000 for one coach for one call for like a month of coaching. Like one call though. It came with some other stuff, but you know what I mean? Like I've paid so much more, and I am a better coach. I know that. So anyhow, get in touch with me. I actually don't have a thing yet, because on Facebook, which is where I normally post all of this, everybody just messages me for calendar and payment links. So let me know in some way, find me until I find I put a page together or something to actually schedule your call, and let's get connected before this price goes back up. And I'm thinking of letting it extend a little bit longer, but we'll see. So anyhow, have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.